The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. I'm here to talk about the book The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. It's a really good book and I'll try not to spoil too much of it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the different types of points of view. First up, first person point of view. This is when a character is the narrator. Usually it's the main character, but really it can be any character in the book. When you're reading a second person point of view book, it'll say you are confused, you grab something, you shake it, you throw it away, and so on. And lastly, there's third person point of view. Third person point of view is when a non-character person is telling the story. One interesting fact about the third person narrator is that no character can see or hear them. And there are many types of third person narrators. Omniscient narrators know everything. They know how the characters are feeling, where they're going, the exact time, and what they're gonna eat for lunch that day. Limited narrators can see only one character's thoughts and feelings. Dramatic narrators cannot read any of the minds of the characters. They figure out what's going on along with the reader. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is narrated by a third-person omniscient narrator. Near the end of the book, there's a sentence that says, "Actually," he says, looking down at Shmuel, "it doesn't matter whether I do or don't. They're not my best friends anymore anyway." The phrase, "he said" here tells us that the narrator is third person. Third person narrators use the words he, she, and it rather than I, me, and my. There's some exceptions when the narrator can't speak for themselves and have an opinion, but we're gonna have to ignore them for the time being. For the majority of the book, the narrator saw things through Bruno's eyes, really a dramatic narrator. At the end of the book, he told us about what happened to Bruno's family afterwards, which Bruno had no knowledge of. This means that the narrator was omniscient. Part 2. This is the plotline: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. In exposition, the characters and the setting is introduced. In rising action, the conflict starts to rise. The tension peaks at the climax. In falling action, the conflict starts to be solved. In the resolution, the conflict is solved and there is a satisfying ending.